Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Love Our Life. Today we are doing more Epic Universe construction updates, and we got a couple of things that we need to talk about beforehand. So let's get into it. So come on and join me. There's only a few more months left of construction updates, and while it's kind of sad, it's really exciting, and we are happy at the same time with a brand new theme park opening. Coming up this week as the recording of this video, on Tuesday, the Stella Nova Resort will open for Epic Universe, which is right outside of Epic Universe. And we are excited about that opening. It's going to be a good time. But before we get to that, we got to talk about the construction updates for this week to see where we're at going into the beginning of the week and into when the Stella Nova opens in the coming days. So let's get into it right now. As always, we want to thank BioReconstruct for all the photos that he provides and all the great content that he has provided us throughout the last few years and the last few months going into the opening of Epic Universe. So in this first photo here, you can see an aerial overview of the Stella Nova, which opens in just, as the recording of this video, 2 days. You will be opening and walking into that resort in 2 days on January the 21st. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see what is going down with this. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. You can see that team members are in training right now as all the cars are parked there ready to go. So we're not going to spend a ton of time on that, but I did want to bring that up and mention that. And here is another view here of that on the side. Looking great. All right. So without further ado, let's get to the park here. Let's talk about some things. But before we get into the actual park, let's talk about this. We have the toll plaza for Epic Universe guest parking. Construction team is using the parking currently, of course. So that's what's going on with that. But you can also see here, this is where you're going to enter in when it's time. And I cannot wait for this. I'm so freaking excited for it. All right, moving up here, you can see a little more construction going on. Now, there are some rumors going around that eventually a parking garage may happen. We don't know if that is true, but it is kind of on the, rumor mill right now. Now, the thing is, a lot of people were talking about in the last update that the parking lot didn't look that big. Well, I understand what you're saying, as it doesn't look that huge, but I think maybe eventually it'll be more expanded and or parking garages. Now, let's get into the actual park here. Let's start with the statue of Luna in the Epic Universe overlook in the front of the park. This is looking amazing. It is very close to being completed. There's still some tarps down here at the bottom that need to be uncovered, but every week there's something new that has been done. Now, she's been pretty close to being done for a while, but this is kind of a good look here. And if you look here, it looks like there's something that's going to go into her hand. I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to look back at the concept art, but it does look like something's going to attach there. I guess it might be a moon. That would be my guess. Here's an overview here too, a little further away. Now, for when you enter the park, you can see where the gates are right there. You will walk up towards that area, and then you'll be able to overlook the park there. So it's going to be amazing once it's done, for sure. All right, now we're going up here, and we are going to look at an aerial overview here of the Kronos. Now, this is just, the Kronos is at the bottom of the photo, and the top of the photo there is Luna hanging out, the Luna overlook. You can see there's still some things that they need to get done here. They are not done yet, but hopefully it will be very soon that these things are done. But keep in mind, it's going to take a little bit of time. Going to this photo here, aerial overview of development of a cascading water feature at the front of Epic Universe, the Luna overlook. Number 1 is one of the bridges for an island cascade. And number 2 is an underground kitchen of Atlantic restaurant. Dirt will be piled against the waterproof barrier. So there's going to be, kind of hidden there for you to see. It's a good thing there. Good thing. All right. Here's another view of this aerial look at the work in progress for cascading water feature at Luna Overlook. Restaurants are still being built at the left and right wide walkway at the left is a primary route through Epic Universe. Smaller walkways at the center are to an island and photo op with the statue. So you can kind of see how that's working out there. And that'll be the main way over here to the left where you'll walk around. So you're just kind of making your way around there. It just gives you a good idea of, you know, what everything is going to look like. We're spending a lot of time on Luna there. We're going to move on. Let's go here. This is the back side of the Kronos here. This is looking at the entrance of the park if you're not aware. Now, to the right is the Atlantic restaurant. And to the left is the VIP building, all that stuff that's going in, and a restaurant to the bottom left right there. Now, what's interesting to note here is a lot of the pavement is done, but not all of it. There's still more that needs to be done, obviously, and they're working on that. And it looks like some more trees need to be planted in this Luna overlook area, and they're not done yet. Now, what's really interesting here, and we might be able to see it in this next photo. Now, if you look at this photo right here, you can actually see the entrance to the park. But before you get into the entrance to the park, there's also where you're going to be scanned in for like your tickets and security. You can kind of see that up at the top there. And if we look a little closer here, I believe we do have a photo. Yes, you can kind of see it here. Let's look at this, where the scanners are. So if you go to Universal Orlando right now, you know that whenever you go in, there's like a face scanner. You go in, they look at the little screen, make sure it's you. That is what this is right here. You can see right there, right underneath the overhang there. And the little breezeway right there, you can see that sticking out there. So really interesting to note here. This is a wider view here too. This is the portal area, obviously at the front, but it just gives you a little bigger idea. You can see where the restrooms are going to be over here, and then the guest information, all that lovely stuff that hopefully none of us have to endure on opening day. I mean, I would hate to have to endure that. Now, we do have Epic Universe, the front of it, the area here, the Kronos obviously in the middle. They're still doing some work on it as the crane is out there. But you can see the VIP room here. A curved staircase is seen at the center, so you can see how it's going to go up. Been a part of media events over at Universal and VIP, and that's usually where they take you up at Universal Orlando. So I would assume that's probably going to be the same for like media events and VIP stuff here. Well, obviously it's a VIP room, but I'm just saying in general, like with the media stuff. And here's a better look here at the admission podiums here. You can see that a little bit better. So I think it's all going to just work together, and it'll be very similar to how Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure is now as you go in. But that gives you, pretty good look at it there. We can spend all day on the Kronos. Let's talk about the Atlantic. Now, there's shell stripe columns and other theming can be seen through the scaffolding here. You can see that at the very top in this aerial photo. So they're still working on that. They haven't completed it yet. And on the other side of that too, where the water features are going to be right around there. So they're not done. As much as I've been seeing circulating online, oh, it's so close. I mean, we still have 4 months to go. So they're still going to be working as hard as they can on all this stuff. But this just gives you kind of an idea. Aerial photo of landscaping and theming in progress at a pair of Celestial Park restaurants. Here is a good look of Pizza Moon and this is the Mario gift shop that's on the outside there, Super Nintendo store. You can see the panels here of Peach, Mario, and Donkey Kong in the windows. It's like a stained glass window type of look. That is awesome. I love that. Now this, like I said, this is the Super Nintendo store that's on the outside there. And of course we have Pizza Moon. Here's theming here. Stage at the bottom right for the area, I guess. I don't know if that's for Pizza Moon or not. It probably is. I can see where they'll add that to it. But the sign looks completely almost done. Now, I'm assuming that this is going to light up at night. I'm just going to assume that is the case. Pulling back a little bit, you can see Pizza Moon here, the building right in front of you. And then to the left is the entrance portal to Super Nintendo. Pulling back even more, Celestial Carousel here at the center of the photo, the main water fountain to the right here, and then the portal to Super Nintendo World right at the front or top of the photo here. Looks amazing. I cannot wait to walk through that portal. So we might have a closer photo, but that portal looks really close, at least the top part of it, to being done. Here's something interesting here. Arrow in this aerial photo at the entrance of the route of the Celestial Carousel. Tall brown frame ahead will be the marquee. You can see that there where it's pointing there to the arrow. Domed roof is at the center, recently placed over the carousel queue. So I'm assuming that this isn't going to be that big of a deal. It'll probably be like a quick attraction, very much like it is in Islands of Adventure with the carousel and, of course, Magic Kingdom. You know, it's never really that big of a deal, long of a wait, but, you know, it is what it is. Here's another look at this. Now, this looks amazing. We've all known that this is going to be cool, and hopefully when we get to the Stella Nova, we'll be able to see this from the window. Hopefully we get a room that's on that side, so we'll see. We will see. And then we have aerial photo of a bridge here in Celestial Park. You can see that down at the bottom there with people walking around. So this is going to just be like, you know, you're walking around the park and pretty much just strolling area here. I mean, you got to get to place, right? But still. Now, it does have some, looks like some water's filled up here in the actual Celestial Carousel area. And a little closer, you can see themed in here. You can barely see some of the creatures that are in there. And looks good. The guy's just standing there chilling, thinking about it. Now we're going to skip over here to the Oak and Star Tavern. Number 1 here is theming and progress of the chimneys. Number 2, starlights added to the exterior. And number 3 is a kiosk for monitoring the exit of Dark Universe. So there'll be people standing out there monitoring everything that's going on. This is going to be kind of like a barbecue type of restaurant from what we understand so far. Here's another look at it here. Now the square building at the center here is a control booth for a stage. So I would assume that means that's for the actual fountain show that's here at the bottom right. You can see that there. And they have grass there now. Huh. I didn't notice that earlier. Now this here is a look at the Celestiki bar. That's hard for me to say. I don't know why. But that's looking great, actually. And they're continuing to work on that and getting that done. So kind of think of like Chez Alcatraz kind of idea, you know, probably be like that. Now in this photo here, you can see that there to the right, actually the center, and then over to the left is the Dark Universe entrance, which everyone knows, everyone's super excited for. Also going over into this one, we have the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant at the base here of the Helios Grand Hotel. Now, I don't know how this is going to be connected to it, but obviously, you know, you can see the buildings are connected there. But I wonder if we have a little better photo here this week of this. Yes, we do. On the flip side there, you can see it right through there. There's still some things that have to be done. I do not see the Blue Dragon. That is supposed to go in the front. Obviously, they need to get that done. There's also some LED lights that are in the concept art. You can't tell from here if those are done yet, but I would assume it's going to happen, you know, fairly soon as they continue to get these done. Little overview here: Dark Universe Portal, Blue Dragon Pan Asian Restaurant, Helios Grand Hotel, and the Meteor Astropub. You can see all that within this photo here. And that Dark Universe portal looks amazing. Now, right here in front of the Helios is a bird figure that is wrapped in plastic. You can see that there. And of course, there is Helios there at the front. Now, look at the scale of how big Helios is next to this gentleman or lady that is standing there. Pretty huge, pretty big statue at the front of the Helios. So it's going to be pretty amazing once they're done. Now this is a photo of the garden areas of the Celestial Park in front of the statue of Helios. Helios is to the left here in this photo. Garden area is to the right. Now this just looks amazing. This looks like something out of a Greek mythology film. I mean, it's just amazing what they're doing with this. And then this photo here, you can see there is Helios at the center and the Helios Grand behind it. And then the water features and everything running back behind it there. So cool. I have a few things here. Luna Overlook. Now here's a look at the pool here. Now I keep mentioning this. People were complaining about the size of the pool. I mean, come on now. You're also going to have the Terra Luna and Stella Nova outside of this. So keep that in mind, that people are going to stay. But it's a 500 guest hotel. So is one big pool enough? I think so. I think that's all right, Now, here's another look here. You can actually see over to the right. There's the bus transportation there. That'll take you to City Walk. And of course the other parks. And here is from behind. Parking garage to the left where you're going to park if you are staying at the resort. And of course, the Wizarding World to our left. And the top right of the photo is Stardust Racers. So as we're continuing on here, the one thing that I keep thinking and we keep pointing out is how close we are getting. Now, we know that things are not done. They're not, they're close, but they're not close. There's stuff going on inside that we don't know about, of course. But here's another thing I want to show you. Remember that Meteor Astropub? Well, we got a sign. Here at the bottom of the photo, you can see that, and that is leading into the Wizarding World there. Now, this looks like a door at the top here. Sliding door in the portal. Oh, that's amazing. So, is that what's going to happen whenever... Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they'll slide that door closed, like if they're not opening that part of the park yet. That's pretty sweet. Which makes me wonder if the rumors about team member and annual pass previews will only allow you to go into one place at a time. That way they can keep those portals closed off so you can't see inside. Astro theme, or the Astro Pub theming here, the arrow going on. There is a meteor down there at the bottom where the arrow is pointing. Little wider photo here so you can see that. I mean, that looks that looks so cool. I am loving that. That looks great. Okay, so this is a brick building with large rings in the reverse side of the Astropub. Okay, so it looks like little seating areas there. You can just chill out there in the back and going into the Wizarding World area. Every theme park needs those areas, you can just sit and chill. And I feel like Epic Universe is going to have a ton of those, to be honest. More stuff here, just pulling back here. Man, just getting so close to being done. Like I said, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. We are for sure getting there. Now let's step into Dark Universe for just a little bit. There's not a ton here, but you can see the top of the tower here with the lightning damage on the roof peak and the theming going on with the electricity. And we talked about that last week, that we don't think the electricity is always going to be there. But this is a wider photo here showing you. It looks like most of the scaffolding, or if all of it, has been removed here, which is great. You know, so now we get a full idea, full complex idea of what this is going to look like. And of course, back over here too is just another view of it. Now, very interesting about this photo, at the very bottom you will see some gentlemen or ladies standing out here. Now, what's interesting to note is there is a test seat in that area there, right where the little archway is. That's where the entrance is, but over to the left is the test seat for the attraction. If you're worried about not fitting, they are going to have those out, and they always should. Every theme park should have those for sure. More landscaping being done. There's just some yellow barricades up here. And then going up here, here's another look here going inside. You can see the way that the queue is set up here. The stanchions are set up there for the queue as they're going back and around. And then this is not really back of house, but this is the extended queue or exterior queue. Permanent railings are here. Section at the top of the right has ropes, as if expected to be repurposed sometime in the future. So keep that in mind. Everything that is metal is the permanent queue, but then the ones with the right, you know, with the ropes or whatever, as time goes on, obviously they're not going to need that as much. So there it is right there. Also, Bio pointed this out. This is from the model in the Epic Universe Preview Center at City Walk in Universal Orlando. So it's getting there. It's not quite there yet, but going back to it, it's pretty close. Pretty close. It might be a tad different. Just a tad different, but not bad. All right, stepping into Darkmoor here, you can actually see this with the little fountain here at the bottom that we're always going on about. And Doss Steakhouse is to the left. I mean, there's menu boards up here at the left here. Things are getting really close to being completed and done. I don't see any scaffolding here. I just see some machinery out here to like kind of brush some stuff off. Some buckets out here. I mean, this looks very close to being done. Also interesting, you can see restroom sign here at the top, not really the top right, but the last piece right there. You can see it at the right, restroom added sign. Pulling back from that here, the village in Darkmoor. Man, looks so good, doesn't it? And one more from way up here. So it's pretty close to being done. I would say, we've talked about this before, but I would say that this is probably the closest that we are to having this completed. Now, here's something really interesting. If you look at this photo, look at the portal entrance here. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but it looks like to me, now I don't know, I don't have any inside information or nothing, but from what I see from this photo, it looks like there is some purple lighting inside of the portal. So, makes me wonder if those commercials that you see where they're walking through it and it looks like it's changing over, makes me wonder if that's what it's going to look like too. Just a thought to keep in mind, because you never know. And this photo shows it a little bit better, and I think I'm right. That looks really cool at the bottom there. Wow. Man. So it's not only going to be immersive that way, it's going to be immersive in making it feel like you're actually walking through a portal. That's just incredible. And this is the backside of that, showing you out here near the Celeste Tiki Bar, which we had a similar photo to that earlier. And then here is an aerial overview of straight down of Dark Universe. You can see the Wolfman coaster there. So is the land huge? No, it's probably the smallest land here. Actually, I think it is the smallest land here. But it still looks amazing, and we cannot wait, of course. Now, here's something really interesting. We do have a sign here. The Stardust Racer sign is being completed. From this viewpoint, it's a cartoony face. And I don't think that is what it's going to look like when you're on the ground. But there is the sign being finished and installed. And of course, more Stardust Racer stuff. Similar silver balls are decorated elements at the Helios Grand. You can see those there in the dirt area here. It's just adding to the theming and making it look really good. And that's also near the Meteor Pub, as you can see up here too, at the top of the photo. So a lot of good stuff this week, you know, not a ton, but a lot of good stuff, giving you an idea how close we are to this being completed. Here's the queue area here too for Stardust Racers. And there you have it. There's Isle of Berk to the left, Wizarding World to the right. Top right is Dark Universe. Top middle is Super Nintendo, and top left is the Kronos, the entrance to the park. So at this point, we're really close to the park opening. You know, we're less than 120 days away at this point, probably like 120. I haven't looked it up. But we are really, really close to this being open, and I cannot wait. I mean, there's just so much, of course, that is surrounding all this. With the Stella Nova opening this week, there's not a ton of photos here. Because I think that things are starting to slow down, you know, as far as like things getting really close to them. Now, we will continue to update you as more and more photos come out, but I wanted to throw these out because these are what Bio put out today. I thought I would get ahead and put this out because we have a busy week ahead of us, and it's going to be really cool. It's going to be an epic week. Epic week. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button and the notification bell so you know when our next video is coming up. And remember, the road goes ever on. I will see you in the parks.